What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Today is Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday.
You got it locked in.
Yeah, today is Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock. You guys know what time it is. I'm super excited for today. We're gonna be talking about some really incredible things. Oh, dang, we got a bunch of people already in the chat, ready to go. Let's go. Get the popcorn ready. I got breaking news, everybody. I got breaking news that I got from the NFL. I'm able to release it here first before I go anywhere else, and you guys can take it to your guys' stuff, chop it up, or whatever you guys want to do with it. But it's breaking news. This news I'm about to give you guys in a second could change the trajectory of how we view all of the games next year, and it also can view what's going to happen in the Super Bowl, and I'll get to it in a second. Before I do that, though, hey, welcome Sid with the sports, though. Look at who's in the house. What's going on, Sid? How you doing?
Good. How is everyone?
Good. We also got Ken Pat Talk. What's going on, Ken?
Hey, doing great.
And you guys already know the Sunshine State Eagle down there.
So, best state there is, baby. Hey, I appreciate you guys for coming in tonight, man. Thank you for everybody for showing up. I can't wait. Let's get into it.
You already know who I am, the chosen one, giving you guys all the NFL content. And I'm super excited about today. But first, let me bring in our proud sponsors, Caliber Graphics. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, giving us the polos, the hats, the shirts, everything that you need for memorabilia. When you go to Caliber Graphics, let them know that the Sports Lounge sent you, so you guys can get that hefty discount. Thank you so much for Brian Martino Construction. If you get anything remodeled in your home, if you tell them that the Sports Lounge sent you, get $1,000 off. And also, number one sports fan. Listen up, everybody. Number one sports fan in Visalia, Tulare, Hanford, and LA. You go up in there and let them know that the Sports Lounge sent you, get your memorabilia, get a little discount, and you're going to want to go get your Eagle stuff. Don't get the Chief stuff. Go get your Eagle stuff, all right? And so you want to rock with the best, get the best, you know what I'm saying? And I'm super excited. Thank you so much for those sponsors. And again, this is the Sports Lounge powered by the Mogul brand. But I'm going to hand it over to Sydney first, and then I'm going to give my breaking news.
All right, let's get into it. So obviously over the weekend, we had the NFC and AFC championship games. Woo! Let's just go ahead and start by recapping that. Obviously the Bills lost, 29-32 against the Chiefs. And then the Eagles beat the Commanders 55-23. So let's start with the Eagles fan. How are you feeling about that Eagles win over the Commanders?
I won't lie to you. So I coming into the game, guys, you heard me say it all week long. I thought that it was going to be competitive. Jaden Daniels gave the Washington Commanders in any game that they were playing due to his play in the playoffs. My concern was the defense. That was my concern when they played Detroit. That was my concern in the first round. Guys, I would have never predicted we was going to put 55 points on a divisional rival. Guys, that's a 32-point swing. Absolutely incredible work. The offense was locked in. That's the best offensive play calling I've seen from Kellen Moore these playoffs, and I mean that wholeheartedly. The defense, of course, showed out, forced turnovers, did a very, very good job at containing Jaden Daniels, which is something me and Chosen had talked about in the weeks leading up. Jaden Daniels did an incredible job in the first meeting getting open. I mean, he was eight rushes for 80 yards and a touchdown. In this one, he's only 42 yards rushing for 6 touches. Guys, That's how you beat the Commanders. Right now, the Commanders are in a rebuild. I know that they had an incredible run. They had a chance to play for a Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, we have to remember they are still in a rebuild mode. They didn't have, the personnel that we had, and it showed. It ended up showing. You stopped Jaden Daniels. You stopped the Washington Commanders offense. We did just that.
Yeah, and go ahead, Sydney.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no. Listen. That game, I had it 34-17. I did have a little BTA, but I didn't again, I didn't expect that the Eagles were going to put 55. I didn't expect, but I did expect us to win in a highly fashion. But let me throw some stats at you guys, because you guys got to put some respect on my quarterback's name, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. So I'm going to give it to you. So we got Jalen Hurts went 20 for 28, 246 yards and a touchdown. Now, it didn't stop there, y'all. He did have 10 carries with 16 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had 14 touchdowns on the day. They said Jalen Hurts couldn't do it with his arm. He did it with his arm. And then they said, we're going to stop Saquon. We're going to stop Saquon. All you got to do is stack the box and stop Saquon. First play that we had in our drive, he went to the house. And Saquon Barkley was 15 carries, 118 yards. Ended the game, Sydney, with 3 touchdowns. That boy
He's incredible. Truly incredible. It's insane to watch. The guy is a generational talent, and we knew that. We knew that in New York. Gets behind a top 3 offensive line, and all of a sudden, the man's having 2,000-yard seasons.
But let me tell you something, Kendall. Let me tell you something. That wasn't the most impressive thing. The most impressive thing is something that Fantasy has said before, and something I looked up. Do you know we scored 7 rushing touchdowns in that game? I didn't even tell you about Shipley scoring that last touchdown. Yeah. We had 7 rushing touchdowns. Do you know who had 6 rushing touchdowns all season? Them Dallas Cowgirls. Them Dallas Cowboys. They had 6 rushing touchdowns on the season, and we had 7 in one game. Put some respect on the Eagles' name. What were you going to say? Go ahead, Kendall. I got some more stats. I got more stats, but go ahead.
Real good point there, Mike. And Sunshine, I like how you came with it and whatnot. My biggest takeaway, I think this game was more so about the Commanders more so about what the Commanders didn't do than what the Eagles did and whatnot. You look at, we already know what the Eagles are. They're a powerhouse team, got a pretty good offensive line, good defensive line, all-star running back. Hurts is a really pretty good quarterback. Good talent outside wide receivers. The Commanders, I think the Commanders, they exceeded expectations. They peaked too quick. That's what I think the Commanders did. They went into Tampa Bay, and you remember that fumble? I think Baker Mayfield, they had a reverse on. I think it was like the fourth quarter, they had a reverse or whatnot, and the guy fumbled. I think it was the wide receiver. He fumbled or whatnot. And the Commanders took advantage of that, and they won that game. Without that, I think Tampa Bay beats the Commanders. Then the next week, they went up against a banged-up Detroit Lions secondary. If that Detroit Lions secondary was healthy, we're probably not even talking about it'd probably be Eagles and Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. Because I mean, what that Goff did give them 4 turnovers or whatnot, but I think that the Commanders they did a little more than what I expected them to do. I didn't really expect them to go to Philly and put up a great performance like that. Now, they had me fooled on that first drive. They kept getting those 4th downs and what I said, okay, they might be doing something here. I said, okay, I was getting kind of worried a little bit. But then when Saquon Barkley scored on the first play, I kind of knew what type of game it was going to be. Then you notice the Commanders didn't turn the ball over in Tampa Bay. It didn't turn over against Detroit either. Soon they got to Philadelphia. You had a couple fumbles, couple drop passes and whatnot. And I think the first drive, if you're Dan Quinn, you went for 3 straight 4th down conversion, got him. I think it was 3 straight. But then after the last one, I think it was 4th and 2, and you're going to kick the field goal. That's my first question of a call right there. If you're going to keep doing that, they should have kept going with it. So I think that's right there's when it started, and then the turnovers. And I think the last one, I think it was on the kickoff. That's the one that killed them because I thought they could have got back into the game. They really won't stop in the Eagles really all day, really. They had a couple of drives where I think they blitzed Hurts, caught him off guard, but they really won't stop at them all day. So I think the Commanders could have lost 80-0, and it still would have been a successful season for the Commanders because nobody expected them to get this far. So anything they did or whatnot, it would have been nice for them. But I think the Commanders are a good story. Maybe they get back to it next year. I think they need to add another wide receiver. I think add some more piece on the offensive line, and I think they need another corner. But I don't think they're too far off. But a good win by the Eagles. I mean, it would at some point it's kind of too good to be true that the Commanders are going to keep doing that. I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
And pivoting. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, pivoting off that. Obviously, we're talking the Commanders lost 55-23, so it was a rough game for them. But we can't go without acknowledging that they went from 4-13 last season to going deep in a playoff run with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
So I was just going to pose the question, like, how you think next season's going to look for them, expectations out of Jaden Daniels, if you think they're going to make another deep run next season.
Yeah, real good point, because they was a top 5 draft team. It was picking right above my team and whatnot. It was a top 5 pick. They got your quarterback. Next year, we got to wonder, is he going to have that CJ Stroud sophomore slump, or is he going to bounce back? We don't know yet what's going to happen with him now. So I think Daniels, he's played a lot more football than Stroud. I think he has the makeup. I don't know about the team, but I think Daniels is going to be fine, because he was making. I mean, who the receivers on the Commanders outside Terry McLaurin that we really? I mean, he was making nothing out of. He was making something out of nothing really. So I think we've seen him kind of already at his worst. Even earlier this year, he had a couple of bad games. I think he started out with the Eagles on that Thursday night games, kind of when the league started to catch on to him. But then he bounced back. Led him against Detroit, led him against Tampa Bay. And I think it'll be pretty good. Now he'll be good. Now about the team, I don't know, but I think Daniels is here to stay. He'll be good next year.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, and that's a really great question, Cindy, and I appreciate that question, because that was the top of my mind. Like, okay, I'm a believer, like for years now to come, like we're a believer of your first year, right? Like not enough tape on you. You come out here, you're a first round draft pick. You do really well in the season. Even though we didn't expect Daniels to do this well, but he was that type of quarterback. We thought Caleb Williams should have went number 2 and he should have went number 1, right? That's what we thought, but it didn't happen that way. But when Daniels went to a team, well coached, defensive mind coached, and go out there and he excelled. Got into the playoffs, and then I don't think that they were really battle tested. Like going with Kendall was saying, I don't think that they were really battle tested. They played the Bucks. Bucks was the most inconsistent team in the NFL this season, and then they played against a broken down Detroit team, right? So I mean, even though they did, and let's call it a spade for a spade, right? Jared Goff was concussed in that game. Does anybody on this panel think he wasn't? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure he was seeing stars that whole entire game, right? So
he definitely wasn't the same after he got that block on the pick six. He wasn't the same after that.
Yeah, Frankie Louvu knocked him into next week, bro. That was an absolute kill shot. Like the dude was for the rest of the game, he committed turnovers. We knew Jared Goff was a turnover machine, but for the rest of that game, I think that he was kind of playing with one eye open, one eye closed.
Yeah. But, I mean, he did in this game, Daniels went 29 for 48, for those who are wondering, 255, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Daniel, this is the kicker. This is going to lead into the next question that Sydney has for us. But look, check this out. Do you know who their lead rusher was? It was Jaden Daniels. He had 6 carries for 48 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yep.
And then Robertson was 11 carries for 36 yards. That's how strong our defense is. That's what I want to talk about. We created 3 turnovers, 3 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, and Quinyon Mitchell ended the game with a touchdown, with a pick. And so, one thing that I did notice, though, you guys, is one thing that we struggle with as a Philly game since Nakobe Dean has went out is that for some reason our coverage on the tight end has suffered. Now, Zach Ertz he had 11 receptions for 104 yards. That creates concern as a Philly fan, because what are we going to do with a Travis Kelce now that didn't even have, he had a sloppy season, and then he's going to come into this game and ball out? We have to figure out, are we going to throw a dime package out there? Are we going to throw somebody who can spy on that man? Maybe a Cooper DeJean, because even though Burks had a good game with 5 tackles in this game, that's not going to be enough to cover 100.
But one second, not to cut you off. I know Ertz had 11 catches, right? But how much do you look at that when y'all was up big and they was playing prevent, or was that more so in the first half when the game was close? So
we created a shell. We want everything in front of us. So a lot of it was ticky-tack. Yeah. That's why he had 11 receptions. So I could see that. But with a Travis Kelce, it's yards after the catch. So that's the problem. I mean, Ertz is not the type of dude. I mean, he gets hit by Burks, he's down, right? But it's the yards afterwards. And for some reason, sometimes Travis creates his own routes. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but he creates his own routes, he creates his own things. So that's a concern for me. I don't know. What is your thoughts, Sydney, on that?
I have a lot of concerns about the Eagles-Chiefs game, but before we pivot into that, let's talk about that Bills-Chiefs AFC Championship. Josh Allen is now 4-0 against the Chiefs in that AFC Championship. Kendall, you're our AFC guy on this call, so how are you feeling about that game?
Josh Allen and Coach McDermott, they just can't get over the hump. I mean, we can talk about the referees, we can talk about this and that. We could talk about, I mean, Mahomes has their number. He's 0-4 against Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Correct.
And Andy Reid has really coached circles around, I mean, that whole South. Mike, Sunshine, y'all know Andy Reid pretty good. Formerly y'all coached years ago. I mean,
he's all right.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I think that me personally, looking at it, I've seen a couple different glints on Twitter. I thought Josh Allen had that first down, the quarterback sneak. I thought he had it. And then he made a crazy throw to Kincaid or whatnot. And then Kincaid should have caught that ball. If Kincaid catches that ball, I think Buffalo, I think it was a 3-point game then. Buffalo scored, and I don't think that I don't know, because Mahomes, he has beat them with like 13 seconds left. But he didn't he don't have a Tyree Hill, he don't have Sammy White, he don't have all those talent he had back then. So it might take him a little tougher to get down the field. But 100%. I think Buffalo, they can't get over that hump. Their defense was kind of banged up a little bit, but still they got this far, so you can't really blame. Josh Allen really could have had about 3 interceptions in that game.
He was playing his best football this year. Like it comes down to, when are we gonna stop taking Josh and being like, oh, he didn't have this, he didn't have that. He had Stephon Diggs at one point. He had Gabe Davis. He had Micah and all.
I thought this was the best opportunity I actually thought last year was the best opportunity. But the Bills can beat the Chiefs in the regular season. They just can't get out of Mahomes' shadow in the postseason. Burrow is the only one that's proven to beat Mahomes consistently or whatnot. Burrow beat him like 3 times, and one time in the playoffs in his own house.
That again? Who is the other one?
Joe Burrow's about the only one that has been consistent.
Burrow and Brady.
Burrow and my guy Brady. But they just can't get over that hump. And hats off to Steve. I know y'all probably don't want to hear, but Steve Spagnuolo, he's a genius on the defense side of the ball. He brought that late blitz, and Buffalo Bills were fooled by that. But my takeaway is the Bills gonna be the Bills, and they're gonna win the AFC East for the next few years. Now I hope my guy Drake May can overtake that. But
I was about to say,
yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna win the AFC East. They're gonna get hurt. I'm glad they're home though. But they're gonna win the AFC East for the next couple of years. But what good is that doing if you get to the playoffs and Kansas City gonna bounce you out every year? Because Mahomes ain't going nowhere no time soon. So my takeaway is the Bills gonna be the Bills, man.
Yeah. Before I get to this chat, man, I think the real question is if he didn't beat him this year, is he ever?
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
She said it, not me.
I
don't understand how he does it. Like, at the end of the day, Josh Allen hasn't necessarily played poorly in these games versus Patrick Mahomes. If you go look at his numbers, he actually hasn't been horrible.
Yeah, he hasn't played bad.
He just doesn't make the play when it matters, when it counts. And I'm glad you brought up the Steve Spagnuolo blitz. All you have to do in that situation, I say all you have to do, and I'm sitting on, I'm a TikTok analyst, not a national football quarterback. But at the end of the day, you slide right, and you pick that blitz up. Dalton Kincaid's on a crosser 10, 15 yards up the field at the 20. Who knows what happens after that, right? The problem is Steve Spagnuolo does such a good job of hiding those blitzes. I mean, that guy wasn't coming until there was like 7 seconds left on the play clock. So Josh already had the line shifted left because I believe they were a little bit overloaded. And instead of shifting right, that blitz came out of nowhere. Josh Allen never stood a chance. And that ball he threw, that was some Clark Kent stuff. All right. That football was hard to get out like that. And, Dalton Kincaid just couldn't make a play on it. And, you look back and you look at the 15-second game. At the end of the day, Josh Allen did everything right in that game. Hit Gabe Davis right over the middle. Beautiful pass right through the center of the defense. What did Patrick Mahomes do? What did he do, Chosen? What did Patrick Mahomes do in that game?
Tell us.
Oh,
Mac
yeah,
Hollins.
he
Mac Hollins.
charged
Mac
the field in 15 seconds to kick a
That's all
field
he
goal
needed.
and go to overtime. That's insane.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
And
you
that's
needed.
the thing. Even the Bills can make it here as many times as they can, but when you're going up against Patty Mahomes, like playoff Patrick Mahomes is different. Again, we only saw Burrow and Brady beat him. Just some quick stats. The Chiefs have won 17 consecutive one-score games, 9 straight AFC West championships, 3 straight AFC conference championships, and obviously they're looking to three-peat. So that leads me into my
dominance.
next question. Can the
Wait,
Eagles stop the Chiefs?
wait,
Ooh.
before we get into that, I have the breaking news. But before I get into the breaking news, let's catch up on these chat real quick. Let's see what we got here.
That's a good point, though. I'm following you. I see what you're saying.
Uh,
Down
so down
south, my
south,
man.
say I got my popcorn ready. We got been biting my nails all day. You guys can read some of these too.
Yeah, no, it's better be good. I appreciate everyone for popping out, man. It's been an exciting venture. Kellen Moore must be staying after all. I don't see it. I think he's going to New Orleans. I won't lie. I think he's going to go to New Orleans. But that's just my personal opinion. We can get into that on a different time.
That's gonna be tough, brother. It's gonna be hard to keep him forever. But I say no. Okay, he's responding to that, and then boom, let's go. Hit the like button.
Nice,
Yeah,
my man.
tap that like button, y'all. Share this live and keep on staying in this chat box. We're gonna get to this. Let's hunt. Let's go. Let's hunt. Sub Sports Lounge. You already know what's up. The Super Bowl hats and shirts are available at Number One Sports Fan. Yeah, all Super Bowl stuff is there. You guys will like this one. Hey,
Belt to bottom.
peach emoji. Let's go. 55 on that head. 55 is crazy. Let's see what else we got. We're still scoring. Let's see what we got here.
He said that the other day. He said, "Oh, if you listen real close, the Eagles scored another touchdown on the Washington Commanders." That's crazy, bro.
Defense is what wins the game. Offense is okay. And then we got Washington just fumbled again. Defense defending. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what else we got. They didn't believe in what they look. They went and hired Dion. The clock struck 12. Got folded. Cinderella story. Dang, there's so many chats, guys. So I am gonna go to the last one, and it says it should have never came down to the final drive. You're right.
I think he's talking about the Bills Chiefs game, the original one.
Yeah. So jump in the chat, keep chatting. Now that I caught up.
Also, can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
Also, remember, guys, if you are on TikTok, we know you're there. We know you're talking. Shoot over to the YouTube so that we can see you in the immediate chat. TikTok acts a little bit weird in our chat. Make sure you shoot over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, man. Come be a part of the conversation.
Yeah. And before Sydney carries on with that, and you could start all over when you jump into the next question. Before we jump, though, we want to give you this breaking news. Guys, it's happening.
I don't even know what's happening. So, I'm genuinely confused.
No, it's happening. So, full-on investigation on the season for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Really?
3 officials are being investigated right now to being fired. That's
like
the
it's an official NFL
it's an
investigation.
Official, full-on investigation with the Kansas City Chiefs and every game that they played this season, including they're keeping their eyes out on the Super Bowl. There's 3 officials right now. 3 officials right now that are being they're on the verge of being fired. So that's the breaking news right now. So what does this mean? This means that everything we've been talking about with the Chiefs and the refs and all that is finally being handled, you guys. Not only that, this might be an even playing field. Now, we know that Tobert has refed our games. He's 5-2, and ref their games. He's 3-1. So their crew that they have for the Super Bowl, yeah, it's gonna be playing tight. How does that change the Super Bowl? Well, if they don't want to get fired, they're gonna have to call a clean game because going back to what Sydney was talking about in that game with the Buffalo Bills and Deflate Gate. They said Deflate Gate 2.0, baby. But no, listen.
I knew he was going for that on you.
Yeah, so going back to that game, there were some questionable calls, right, Sydney? There were some questionable calls. That fourth down, did Worthy catch Worthy catch that pass? Those are some game changing things. Now, I'm not saying that the Chiefs, yeah, I'm not saying that the Chiefs are not the most penalized team. A lot of people take this misinformation by saying, "Well, we were called for the most calls." No, it's when it's game altering when they call it. Like their last game, they were third. The game before that, they were 3rd down and 8, and then all of a sudden against the Texans, and then they threw a flag, and they continued to drive. Mahomes slid, and 2 players hit. They call a flag. All of a sudden, they score a touchdown on a drive. Patrick Mahomes is using the tools, and then all of a sudden, he flops. This is why this investigation is happening right now. This is why right here. So we're going to keep it fair, and this is the way we keep the integrity of NFL and keep them accountable, and we're doing it. That's the breaking news. It's finally happening, y'all, and you heard it first right here on the Sports Lounge Media. Carry it away.
I mean, no wonder they won 17 consecutive games by 1 score. So
hey, she's got a point. That's crazy. They won back-to-back games 17-19. The Raiders and the Chargers. Like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? And y'all know I'm not one to blame the refs, but no one can dispute the fact that Kansas City benefits from the most game-changing calls.
Yeah. So with that being said, again, how can the Eagles stop the Chiefs from three-peating and beat not only the Chiefs but the refs as well?
Start, Sydney. Start us off.
I mean, I think it's hard because obviously a lot of people are saying since they last met in the Super Bowl in 2023, the Eagles are a different team. Obviously, Saquon's going to play a huge factor in this game. They're going to need to rely a lot on that run game. But at the same time, some people are saying this, but then we also have to acknowledge that the Chiefs are also a different team than they were 2 Super Bowls ago. They have Hollywood Brown now, Xavier Worthy, Kareem Hunt. So it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a battle, but I think the only way the Eagles win is if they have to get a lead and get a lead early. Because I think if it comes down to that fourth quarter play and it's within like 3 points, a touchdown, it's just hard to beat Patty Mahomes when he has time left on that clock.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, you could kind of like to piggyback that. It's kind of like how you have to beat Tom Brady, right? When we beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, we had to score touchdowns, not field goals. So I think you're absolutely right. That's right on because that's what we're going to have to do, and I think that we're going to do that. But before I chime in the rest of my comments, I'll let you guys take it away.
I agree. I agree. I think that for us to successfully defeat this Chiefs team, we're going to have to do what we've done all year long. It's establish the run, choke teams out. That's right. That's like we are the guy in the MMA cage that gets on your back and just holds on. And you might bang us around the cage a little bit. You might hit the ground a few times. Doesn't matter. We still hold on because we have a guy like Saquon Barkley that can go for 200 plus at will against anybody. When Saquon Barkley went for 100 yards against the Baltimore Ravens run defense, right then and there, I knew we could run on anybody in the National Football League. And we're going to have to do that to stop the Chiefs. The Chiefs they are significantly better at stopping the run than the Washington Commanders, in my opinion. They're more talented up front. They have better edge rush.
Yeah, Washington was ranked 30th.
Right, their linebackers are significantly more athletic. But the Kansas City Chiefs are not as good as people think they are at stopping the run. They still allow teams to run the football, especially. They just haven't allowed a singular running back to go over 100 yards. They still are allowing teams to run the football, more so than their fans will let you on. Yes, I'm talking to you, Kansas City fans. We keep people accountable here on the Sports Lounge. But that's right. I think we need to continue to do that. We have to play hard-nosed defense. And guys, at the end of the day, what have we done in these playoffs so well every single game? We force turnovers. We have to force the Chiefs to turn the football over, whether that's Patrick Mahomes, whether that's on special teams. I mean, hell, Will Shipley had a touchdown and a forced fumble against the Washington Commanders. Like, we got guys forcing the football out everywhere, and that's going to have to happen if we're going to beat this Chiefs team. We are going to have to force them to turn the football over, and we're going to have to be good in the red zone on defense. That is what is going to have to happen.
Just a real good point. Just to add to what you said, I think you need to be good on first and second down. Get in third and shorts, fourth and short. Because y'all gonna go for it on 4th and 1 with the tush push or third and short. You do not
wait. Brotherly shove. Brotherly
shove. The brotherly shove and whatnot. You do not want to be in 3rd and 5, 6 or more against them, because then Spagnuolo can conduct these blitzes. Get in 3rd and 2. Like, basically your second downs need to be your third downs. You need to convert your second down just like it's third down. Stay like that. Defense, get after Mahomes. Y'all have a different defensive line than what y'all had a couple years back. I think it's more deeper, more explosive, whatnot. Y'all didn't have Jalen Carter. You got Brendan Graham. I heard he might be coming back. So you got some
he is.
Yeah,
he's back.
Yeah, okay. He's already practicing. He's already practicing.
Y'all still got Bryce Huff?
Yep.
Yeah, he's somewhere. He usually gets water for Jalen's time.
Okay, that was a weird situation there, but I think y'all got. We will get into the prediction here soon, but I think that y'all can get out there. I'm gonna get out to Mahomes, and if y'all do get a lead, you need to stay aggressive, keep a lead, feed Saquon Barkley the ball, and do not keep the foot on the gas. You cannot let Mahomes get back. Basically what I'm saying is, after the first, second, third, and fourth quarter, the ball needs to start and end with y'all having the ball or whatnot, and that's how you beat. Just don't do what Buffalo did. Like, they barely converted their third and short, the fourth and short. Josh Allen fumbling the ball. I mean, as big as Josh Allen is, he was having a hard time converting the daggone the tush push or whatnot. He was having a hard time converting that. So y'all got to just don't do what Buffalo did.
When your quarterback squats buildings, it definitely helps.
But yeah, if you do that and stay out of third and longs and win on first and second down, you got a tremendous chance of winning this game.
Yeah. And you know what? What was the question again, Sydney? Hit me with the question one more time.
How the Eagles can stop the Chiefs from three-peating.
It's simple, man. We are the most dynamic team. You could call us the Avengers, right? I mean, we have it on offense. We have Saquon Barkley. We got the heaviest O-line, which creates, a lot of people are not giving credit, creates those lanes for Saquon to get through. We all knew that Saquon was dynamic. He just needed the team that had the offense to be able to do what he's doing this year, right? We always knew that. And man, I wish we had him in his prime. But hey, we got him now, and he's putting up records with us, and that's the first part. A lot of things is like stopping Saquon and all that. You could stop Saquon, but we still got A.J. Brown, which I didn't even read off his statistics last game. But we still got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You can call them a 1A, 1B wide receiver duo with them. And then let's not forget about Dallas Goedert. Offensively, we got the firepower to compete. I think the biggest factor is the 23 season that you talked about in the Super Bowl versus the defense in 2025 is we're significantly better in every area. The coverage, we don't give a lot of kudos to our secondary. We have interchangeable people in our secondary. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Secondary is fantastic. We got Quinyon Mitchell out there. We got Cooper DeJean that are playing really, really well as rookies, guys. This is a defense that people are sleeping on, because every single week they say that we cannot do this or that, and we do it, right? And Jalen Carter, Baby Rhino down there, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, the list goes on. The way that we force pressure towards Mahomes is going to be different. I don't think he has – you guys – maybe tell me, what is a defense that he has faced that looks like the Philadelphia Eagles? Has he faced one yet?
The closest one I would say is Denver. Denver was very good at getting after the quarterback. But even then, Bonita came. I think that's his name. I always say it wrong, but
I would say probably the Pittsburgh Steelers too. But they blew Pittsburgh.
Bro, I went ahead and just went and ate Christmas dinner. I didn't even watch that, John. Like I was watching that belt to bottom. I said I ain't even gonna watch that no more. But I would say Denver is probably the scariest pass rush attack they have seen.
But
The Texans.
how close? How close are they to our defense, though? Is there anybody even close to what our defense does?
In terms of pass rush, I think the Houston Texans.
Yeah, Houston is probably the next best defense they've seen in terms of pass rush because Will Anderson's an animal off the edge. But in terms of a pure interior defensive lineman, like you're saying, Jalen Carter, I mean, the words came out of Aaron Donald's mouth. Aaron Donald said, "My replacement is here, and he's staying Philly." Number 98. That man is an absolute freak. I don't think that the Kansas City Chiefs have seen an interior. I mean, he's our Chris Jones.
Yeah, and I think we add pressure, Sydney, to answer that question too. We add that type of pressure to Patrick Mahomes and put him in a bind. And we got it. The way that we've been winning these games is being physical. The first game was a body bag game, right? Against the Green Bay Packers. Everybody was coming off that field getting injured. It's going to have to be that physicality that gets us in the game that people are starting to get scared. I'm not scared whatsoever of their run game. That could be stopped. They haven't been running well all season anyways. With Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, are you kidding me? But it's Patrick Mahomes and two other people, Andy Reid and Spagnuolo. That's it. That's how they've been winning these games. And yeah, Chris Jones had an okay game, but McDuffie's been getting toasted against one receiver, two receiver, three receiver. It's like I'm not even worried about AJ Brown in this game. So
like
how
AJ one-on-one. I like AJ.
So how they're going to beat him is getting pressure to the quarterback, making him make decisions that he normally doesn't make, hitting him. Don't be scared to hit him. Somebody has to put a lick on this man and let him know he can't play with us. Yeah, they got to pop him hard and let him know you can't play with us like that.
You're going to get the flag anyway. You're going to get it anyway. You might as well make him feel it.
Might as well hit him and let him feel it, right? And then obviously us playing strong defense and us be able to score and run the ball. There has been a rushing. Lamar Jackson was the guy who went over. I don't care what nobody says. They say running backs, they haven't went over 100 yards. But I include Lamar Jackson. He was, for his rushing yards, he went over 100 yards on them. So I include him in that conversation. But I mean, it is what it is. But
let's flip the conversation around. So obviously everyone's talking about what the Eagles can do to beat the Chiefs, but I feel like people are forgetting Chiefs are only 1.5 point favorites right now. So what can the Chiefs do to actually accomplish this three-peat, and how would they need to, what would they need to execute against the Eagles to win that game?
They're going to need every ref in the building. They're going to need Taylor. Nah, let's be realistic, okay? We'll be realistic. Go ahead, Sunshine.
I think that Kansas City just needs to continue doing what they do. And I mean, that's, Andy Reid is one of the best offensive play callers to ever touch a play sheet, right? He's one of those guys that can dial things up on the fly, which you don't really see in coaches. Most of the time, coaches come in with a weak game plan of what they want to see. They have, plan X, Y, and Z. Andy Reid's a guy that can go from plan X to plan B like that, and then back to plan D if he needs to. He's one of the better play callers to ever touch a play sheet. And I think that what they need to do is you got to stack the box and you have to successfully stop Saquon Barkley. I would say the team that did the best job was the Steelers. The Steelers did a pretty good job of it, and Washington in that second game did a very good job of neutralizing Saquon Barkley in the second half. I know Saquon went for 100 in the first quarter, but let's call a spade a spade. I know that we didn't have our starting quarterback, but Saquon didn't have, I think he had 30 total yards that whole second half, and we ended up losing that game. So Kansas City's going to need to find a way to shut him down. I think Spagnuolo can do that. He's one of the best defensive minds in football. They have a very athletic linebacking core. Take advantage of the fact that if you stack the box, that's going to give you one-on-ones, right? So what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to give guys like Trent McDuffie and them help over the top and do something that no one in the last 10 playoff games have been able to do, force Jalen Hurts to turn the football over. If Jalen Hurts turns the football over in this game, we are going to be in trouble. He has not been doing that. Kansas City can do that. They have the guys to do that, and they're going to have to. Offensively, they just do what they do, man. The Kansas City offense has been down, but let's not act like Xavier Worthy doesn't have breakaway, get behind you speed, right? Mm-hmm. Do I think he's going to get behind our defense? No. Do I think he has the athletic ability to? Absolutely. Guys get lost. It happens all the time. You have even said it when we were talking about how Travis Kelce does a really good job of getting into space and finding those holes. When the defense is having to adjust for that, if you let Worthy out and get behind you and that safety commits over the top for a Travis Kelce, make-believe route, nobody on our defense is catching Worthy if he gets the football in open field. Worthy is the fastest player on the field. Like, make no mistake about it. So I think they're going to have to get a little bit creative on offense. And again, find a way to stop our run game. If you can shut down the Philadelphia Eagles run game, you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Can Jalen beat you with his arm? Yes. If I was a defensive coordinator, I'd say prove it.
Yeah, and
I think they're gonna have to win in the trenches. Like offensive line, they're gonna have to protect Mahomes. On defense, they got to stop Saquon Barkley. And I think if they win the trenches on offense and on defense, Kansas City can come out victorious.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to have to do. I think Travis has to have a big game. They have to find the holes within our defense, and then also their defense is going to have to force us 3 and outs. They're going to have to force us to go 3 and out. They're going to have to force us to get those big yardages, similar to what the Rams were starting to do with us. In that game, forcing us to do things that we're not naturally ready to do. I think defensively they have a good linebacker core, and they could. I mean, the thing about it is, guys, it's like you say stop Saquon Barkley, and nobody has. I think you only can contain him. So if you can contain him under 100 yards, I could see maybe, but then you're going to see more of Jalen throwing the ball. So that's, I mean, I guess force errors. I think now that I'm thinking about it more, maybe force Jalen to, some interceptions happen or force him to throw it. Also, he holds the ball for a very, very long time. We didn't see that in this game, right? What we seen from Jalen Hurts in this last game was him to throw the ball away. And all of us as Eagle fans were pissed off every time he took a sack in the end zone for 2 points for no apparent reason. He's been giving up big sacks for big yardage, putting us in position to now have to punt the ball. The Chiefs are going to have to do something similar like that with us.
Right. He holds the ball for 6 seconds, I think, 6.2 seconds, which is longer than.
And I get it. You have the offensive line to do that, but there's times where nobody's open, bro. Get away, get it out of your hand. And
right. Just get rid
I think that forcing us to do things that we're not comfortable doing is the only way that the Chiefs can beat us, I believe.
Yep. And that exactly leads me into this next point, just the point you brought up about holding the football a little too long. So I wanted to pose the question, weak points for both the Eagles and the Chiefs. Holding the football too long is obviously a weak point for the Eagles here. I think a weak point for the Chiefs isn't really how they play. It's more so that they are facing a very much like more aggressive defense than they have in the past. So I think that's going to kind of mess with them a little bit, and they're going to really have to make some quick adjustments to that. Kendall, what do you think?
I think the weak points for the Chiefs would be the corner opposite of Trent McDuffie, because he's going to get a lot of actions. He better be ready out there. Whoever is opposite, I can't think of his name right now. McDuffie even struggled against Mac Hollins last week against the Buffalo Bills. So the corner opposite him, and I think the Chiefs offensive line is another weak point too. I want to say it's Jawan Taylor, I believe. He stays going outside. He's always going outside. They don't never call it or whatnot. So I think the offensive line for the Chiefs on the right side and the corner opposite of Trent McDuffie for the Eagles, I think the weak point would be just.
Kendall, was it the left or the right tackle? Was it the left tackle?
I think it was the right. I think it was the right tackle that goes off Jawan Taylor. I think that's who it is.
Jawan Taylor is the right. That's the correct one. He's the one that can't.
But they lost the left tackle though, right? They're also lacking in the left tackle.
No, they got a Ricky Kingsley Sumati, but I don't think they got somebody else. I can't think of the guy. I can't think of his name, but he's got replaced. But it's the right tackle. Yeah, the right tackle's always going on. They don't never call. They call it probably once a game. That's about it. But he gets like a half a second step. Start every time when it's a passing play. On the Eagles, I think the weak point would probably be like say the linebacker core since the injury to what's your linebacker from Georgia? I can't even think of his name right there. Nakobe Dean got hurt and whatnot. Like you said, they struggled last week a little bit against Zach Ertz or whatnot. I think right there, it's like this team is loaded with talent. If you look at it on paper, it should be on paper now. It should be a blowout on paper. Because I think the Eagles, I think it's a mismatch or whatnot on paper, but the game ain't played on paper or whatnot. But it's played on the gridiron and whatnot. But I think probably the linebacker core. I like the corners of the Eagles, like the safeties. Defensive line is phenomenal. Offensive line, they're great in the trenches. Just the linebacker core for the Eagles and whatnot, and that's going to be very important because of Travis Kelce. And sometimes the Chiefs can Any reason to have 2 weeks to prepare. So he's going to come up with something. He's going to come up with something to attack that defense with. So I said my weak point for the Eagles will be the linebacking core.
Yeah, and I mean, to piggyback off what you're saying, you're right. So we'll start with the Kansas City Chiefs. The offensive line's been their weak point all season long. They ended up grading out pretty decently on PFF, but that doesn't show the fact that Patrick Mahomes has been sacked the most times he ever has in his career this season behind this offensive line. He's been constantly on the run, and it's caused the offense to take a hit. So for me, for the Kansas City Chiefs, the offensive line is definitely their main weak point. I know they've taken, and offensive line is my bread and butter. It's my favorite position on the field. They've had to take a couple of those inside guards and kick them out to tackles at times, and to, delve up the rotation. And when you delve up an offensive line rotation, that is a recipe for disaster, because offensive line play is about continuity and the entire line playing together rather than, a singular position. So when you mess up that continuity, snap counts, false counts, pretend count, all that stuff goes out the window, and you have to relearn it with a new group. So I would say that for Kansas City, it's the offensive line and the absence of the run game, right? Pacheco's been injured all year. Kareem Hunt's done a good job filling in, but guys, we're used to watching Pacheco Tarzan people down the field. The dude usually is carrying people into the end zone. And in that Super Bowl in 2022 Trojan, we remember Isaiah Pacheco did damage on the ground in that game. So the absence of that run game for the Kansas City Chiefs has forced Patrick Mahomes to do more. Can he do it? Of course, it's Patrick Mahomes. But I think that absence of the run game definitely hurts them. And when we look at the Eagles, just like you said, I don't love Orion Burks in coverage versus Travis Kelce. That scares the hell out of me, frankly. So he's athletic. Can he do it? Sure. But Travis Kelce's a big body guy that has a really good feel for the field. He can find those pockets. So I would definitely say the linebacker core. I mean, not Zach Bond. I trust Zach Bond with my car keys, my life, my dog, everybody. I give it to him. I'm with it. But when it comes to Orion Burks and Jermaine Trotter, those guys, they're going to get their welcome to the NFL on them, and they're going to have to go out and they're going to have to produce. But something that a lot of people are not talking about that they should be talking about, the kicking game for the Philadelphia Eagles is a bad joke. I don't trust Jake Elliott. I trust Jake Elliott as much as I trust that table that's broken over there to hold me up. That man, beyond 38, go for it. Beyond 38, go for it. The dude, he's just in a slump. I thought it was just a funk, but the guy went from 93% of all field goals to 72 this year. And in the playoffs, he hasn't hit one beyond 50. If this game comes down to 3, I might close my eyes for that kick. I go hold y'all. I might right there in this.
The good news is it's inside a dome in a controlled environment, so hopefully that'll help.
Right, no wind. Yeah. You think that, right? But my man Jake been on. He must have already went to Cancun.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really much more to add. I mean, other than like what I said, just to piggyback on what I already said. I mean, Jalen. One of the weaknesses, Jalen holding on to the ball too long, and finding more than one read. He finds one read and sticks with it a little bit too much. That's one of our weaknesses. I think a weakness on our defense is obviously the big catches. If Worthy does get in front of somebody or whatever. What's going on, Adrian? I think we could be in trouble on the big plays. So Patrick Mahomes could be Patrick Mahomes. There's always magic when that guy's playing right behind center. So he could definitely make plays happen. We do got to address the Travis Kelce situation in this game, and I'm sure Vic is looking at film and trying to adjust and trying to figure that part out. But that's a problem that we do have to figure out. Travis Kelce cannot have a big game. He hasn't had a big game, and it can't be against us. Other than that, like you said, the kicking game, I'm worried about the kicking game as well. But that's pretty much the weak points on both sides, I believe.
All right, and I think I already know probably everyone's answer to this one, but to wrap everything up, let's go around and give our Super Bowl predictions and why you think it's going to end that way.
Yeah, go ahead, Kendall. We'll start with you and go all the way around, or go.
Hard. I want the Eagles to win. I do not want the Chiefs to be the first team in 3-peat. I don't want to go a whole offseason having to hear about this mess, man. I come from one of the best dynasties there ever would be, the Patriots dynasty, 2 decades of dominance. My heart wants to go with the Eagles and whatnot. And my head's going with Philadelphia too. My head's going to go with the Eagles too. I just feel like now I could be wrong because, like I said, I thought the 49ers would beat the Chiefs last year in a revenge or rematch game. Didn't happen. I think this time, I think the Eagles get it done. This is a much better Philadelphia Eagles team. The defensive line's better. I think Jalen Hurts has improved a lot since then. Stats might not show it, but I think he's grown since his time. And he played real good in the first Super Bowl. You take away that on the fumble return for a touchdown, Jalen Hurts was lights out. Like, he was good. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Keep an eye, X factor for this game. I think it's going to be Jahan Dotson making a few key plays in this game that's going to help the Eagles get the win in this. So that's my X factor for this game. Everybody's going to be queuing in on Barkley, Brown, and Devontae Smith. I think X factor is going to be Jahan Dotson. Now that's my X factor for the game. I just think the Eagles are better at every position besides probably coaching and at quarterback. That's it. And I think tight end Kelsey's probably better than Goddard. I mean, in a if you put them both in a vacuum, I take Kelsey over Goddard right now. Whatnot, more experience. He got the Super Bowls. He just know how to find the soft spots in the zones. But I just think, in the trenches, the most important positions, Eagles got them beat: offensive line, defensive line, running back. The receivers. I don't even think it's close to whatnot. The thing that does scare me in a game like this, if I'm an Eagles fan, is a guy like DeAndre Hopkins having one of those games, having a crazy catch on like a 3rd and long or something like that over your rookie corner, or just something like a clutch coming up with a clutch play. Because I can see DeAndre Hopkins doing that. But I think Philadelphia has the personnel to match up with them. Excuse me. And I just think that the Eagles are going to come out on top of this game. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Barkley. And if they do, I think Hurts will be able to do his thing. I got the Eagles winning, and this is going to be a classic, a good game, back and forth. I got Philadelphia winning 27-23.
27-23. Okay.
And Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, they put the league on notice. I know it's a lot of turmoil, whatever going on. I think they get it done this time. I just got a good feeling about this one. I got Eagles 27-23. Eagles. Jalen Hurts has an outstanding game.
Interesting. Oh boy. I have 11 days to sit and stew on this one, right? But more so for Eagles fans, we've been stewing on this one since 2022, right? We felt we got cheated in that game. At the end of the day, the cards fell where they were. We were up double digits at the half, and we allowed the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's like Sid and Chosen and all of you have been saying, you can't let games get within 3 points to a touchdown of the Kansas City Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. We did that. We lost the game. We took it on the chin. Next year, we get bounced early. The offense just doesn't look good. Everything's in turmoil. The team, everyone's questioning if Nick Sirianni's even going to be the coach next year. Jason Kelsey retires. Fletcher's gone. We come into this year, we start 2-2, and everybody's like, nah, man, we're just write the Eagles off. We tear off games, man. We have been so focused, and I think this Super Bowl means so much more to this Philadelphia Eagles squad. That being said, I do think it's going to be a battle. A small part of me thinks we have the guys to make this an incredible win. But when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes and the lights are the brightest, I'm not going to bet we're going to just stomp these guys out. The Philadelphia Eagles have the more talented roster at the end of the day. We can all agree on that. But like Kendall said, the game is played on the field. It's not played on the paper. With that being said, I am still going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles as unbiased as I can. I'm going 31-27 Birds. In an instant classic. We get the revenge we're seeking for. And like Ken said, we put the league on notice. We're going to run the NFC for the foreseeable future.
Go ahead, Sydney.
I hate to be the bad guy here.
Wait. Hold on. What was with the deep breath, though? What was with the deep breath? Hold on. Wait a minute.
She said,
what was with the deep breath?
Before I get out there,
she said,
deep breath in. As much as I love a good revenge game, I think the Eagles are definitely, everyone can agree with this, more talented. They should win this game. But betting against Patrick Mahomes is just, it's tough. He pulls some magic out. You know what? And he makes the playoffs. He's at a different level. But I do want the Eagles. again, I think if the Eagles can get a lead, stay aggressive, and hold on to that lead till the end, leave them with no time, I do see the Eagles winning, but they do need to be aggressive and have that lead, leave Patty Mahomes with no time. But with that being said, I have the Chiefs 27-23.
Oh, they had to say that. Oh yeah.
I want the Eagles.
My parlay is gonna be on the Chiefs. Oh, that to say your parlay is gonna be with the Chiefs. Okay, Cindy, we see where you're going.
Me checking into my sports book. Hold on, let me just.
No, I want the Eagles bad. I don't know. I have a bad feeling, and maybe it's just because we already had that repeat with the Chiefs and Niners last year. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, I'm look, guys. Some of you Eagle fans are gonna look at me crazy. You guys might be disappointed in me. Or you guys might be happy with my choice. I don't know what is about to come out of my mouth right now, but Sydney made a really good point, guys. It's the freaking Chiefs. The Chiefs, for some reason, they win every single year, guys. Like, we got to get to a point where it's a three-peat. They win for a reason. They pull out all the stops when it matters. They're the best team that we've probably ever seen. And if they win this year, guys, they're saying they're going to be a dynasty. Sydney, if they win this year and you win money because you're going with the Chiefs, they're going to be a dynasty.
Ken, they're forgetting about the Patriots won't exist anymore. Tom Brady
in the conversation. With all that being said, it's kind of hard to bet against Mahomes, and I can't be biased on you. I told you guys, right? I told every single person when I jump into this role, even though I'm a diehard Eagle fan and I bleed green, I have to go with my gut. I have to go what I feel in my soul, what's really going to happen. And so, with that being said, I'm sorry to tell you guys. I'm sorry to tell you too, Sydney. It's the motherfucking Eagles. That's what I'm talking about. It's gonna be the Eagles. It's gonna be the Eagles, and no doubt about it, we're the best team in the league. And it's for a reason. We're gonna be the Avengers. We're taking out Thanos, and we're gonna make it happen. Give me 38-17 BTA on Patrick Mahomes, just like we did to Tom
Someone
Brady
check his
in the
pulse.
Super Bowl.
Ken, check his pulse. That's
what it's gonna be. Check me on that.
38-17?
38-17 BTA. Where's my belt at? You're lucky I can't find my belt right now.
I don't think y'all understand the level of obnoxious I will be on these apps if we win this game 38-17. No one will be able to tell me anything. Like, I fear for the people, for all of you viewers watching. I fear for you. But y'all better not let us win by that many points.
Fantasy said
he's back.
You damn right I'm back. Let's go. It's the Eagles all the way. You think I was betting against the Eagles? Hell nah. Not this year. Not ever.
Yeah, not on this one, man.
And it's not being biased. It's because did you see it's everything that we just talked about. I don't have to go through it again. I don't have to explain. If you haven't seen it and you just jumped in, go to the replay and you'll find out why. We're the better team, not only on paper, but on the ground. We show our physicality, and the physicality is going to be shown again. That's how we're going to win this game. We're going to force turnovers on our special teams. We're going to pick off Patrick Mahomes. We're going to put him in uncomfortable situations. That's how we're going to win this football game. Again, give me 38-17. Clock it right now.
Someone clip him because I feel it.
Clip me. That's what we got. Sorry, I was a little intense. That was a little intense. My bad.
He said, "Let me get my bearings back."
Cindy not used to that. My bad. I'm good. I'm good now. We're keeping it fluent. We're keeping it fluent now.
It's fluid.
It's fluent. Is that it, Sydney? Any last remarks?
No, I don't have anything else.
All right, let's go through this chat real quick and we'll be out of here. We got 1 minute, actually. We 1 minute. So we got Mark. Let's see. Mark's always against us. You cannot get physical versus Mahomes. They will still find a way to protect him protect him like Brady. Okay, we'll see, right? We got my cousin who's a professional football player. He says, "What's up?" And he says, "I think the Eagles have the better D line, and that's That's the only way the Eagles will win. Let's see what else Mark had to say. He says Kelsey, this is supposed to be Kelsey, is the best tight end in the game. Bowers is taking over in the past 2 years. I mean, yeah, guys. I mean, we can agree with that, right? Bowers is the best tight end in the league right now.
He's the rookie of the year. Should be.
So let's go with this. 35-28. Hey, I was pretty close.
Jeez. Sydney's got help. She's got help in Adrian.
You got, and that's my cousin. So I mean, and my cousin's going with you. Adrian, I'm giving you a phone call after this, man. We got to talk.
He said, "Let me get on the phone with buddy."
Let's see who else we got. We got Dice. Eagles win. But let's see what fantasy says. Fantasy says 31-17 Eagles. Okay. Let's see what Mark says.
Am I the only Eagles fan that thinks this is going to be a ball game?
20-17, 30 KC. And he said stop trolling. And then Mark finally says NFL will not allow that. We'll
I've
see.
heard so much about the ref stuff. I'm tired. I'm just ready for the game to get played, man. We got to control.
Hey, like I said, with the breaking news, I think it's an even playing field at this particular point, unless they never want to ref again. I think that is where we're at. But any last remarks from any of you guys?
No, I think
I got a question. I got a question for all you guys. So we got Jared Goff, he lost. We got Josh Allen, he lost. We got
Stafford,
Lamar, he lost. And then
Stafford.
So we got Saquon in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Does it belong? Does the MVP now kind of switch to Saquon? Or are we still sticking with the Josh with the MVP?
I think it's gonna be Lamar.
I agree with that.
I'm going with Lamar as well. I think it's
Yeah.
like, if Saquon would have broken the regular season record, you probably could have given it to him. But I think Lamar has just been absolutely incredible. 40 plus touchdowns, 3 interceptions, or was it 4? That's pretty much that's pretty unheard of. I think you got to give it to Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Casual Cassie, you missed the breaking news. Go to our YouTube and watch the replay. And if you guys barely joining now, go back to the replay. The breaking news was in the beginning. I broke it early. Yeah, so go check that out. John, thank you for showing love. He says, using the center gap pass post to the Eagles, tight end Dallas G will help love the ball and separating the run. That's from TikTok. Yeah, thank you guys for liking the show. All right, will do, bro. I just was busy earlier. Hey, no problem. Just go check us out on the replay for sure. But anything else, Sydney? Any closing words?
No, I don't have anything else. Thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming out, man, and spending your hours. Time is a precious commodity, and thank you guys for spending it on the Sports Lounge. It's absolutely incredible to see everybody out here, man. We got some big things cooking in the future. We're welcoming the wonderful Sydney with the Sports with Sid, absolutely incredible content creator, as well as ball knower. And my man Ken, it don't got to be said.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. I will be out in NOLA next week, so follow me on our platforms on TikTok. I'll be posting a lot of content. Appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Yeah, we have him going to the Super Bowl. He's going to the Super Bowl, guys. So watch out for his content coming out. Follow Sunshine and everything Sunshine and the Eagles Nest. Follow Sid with Sports on TikTok. Anything else? Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
MySpace.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not on MySpace yet.
But follow her as well. You guys already know where to follow me. Thank you so much. Thank you for our sponsors. That will conclude everything. Go watch us on the replay. We appreciate y'all.